having a blessed week, right? I see, a bunch of momentum on the Supreme team, a bunch of wins, everybody showing up and bringing their best selves to the table, and that's what we like to see, right? Everybody fighting for their businesses, right? We all coming off of a convention, we all pumped up, all ready to go. So, week after convention, just want to really see how everybody's feeling and, how you guys been working on your business, some things you would like to, before we kick it off, anybody want to share how their business has been developing, some things they implemented since coming back from convention? Anybody want to share?
I'll share. Listen, and Kyrie, I appreciate you, brother, for opening up the call in supreme fashion.
Yep.
We got some great things coming, you guys, in the pipeline that I'm super excited about. I've been doing a lot of work in the background on some marketing for us as a team and cannot wait to roll it out. We not just gonna roll it out, we gonna announce it, right? Because that's how we move around here. We don't just roll stuff out. We make announcements, right? So we gonna make an announcement that'll hopefully change the course of you guys' business from a standpoint of recruiting. I heard my leader Brad Pham say that we it's no excuses no more to get to 1,000 recruits a month. And when my leader, says, "Hey, this is what I need," I go hard at trying to answer the bell, right? And so my leader said he need 1,000 recruits from us a month, and so I'm bent on making that happen. And so some of the things that we're gonna be rolling out, you guys, here very shortly is gonna be absolutely phenomenal. But other than that, Kyrie, I'm just really digging into the team. I got some appointments with some folks like an Amanda, a Sheila Bolton, just really locking in with them, trying to get them to 3-3-8 by the end of the month. Let's map out some business director goals here. Tammy and I got to meet with you, Miss Tammy, as well, right? But that's really where it is for me right now. I'm just reaching out to the people who uh, who are open, right, to mapping out a clear path to business director by the end of this month. I mean, by the end of this year. So we can walk into Vegas with multiple new business directors from Supreme Team. That's my focus. That's my vision. And listen, whoever want to get on this train, just know it's going 80, right? We ain't slowing down. We moving. So that's all I wanted to share this morning, brother. I appreciate the opportunity.
Can I speak up,
Uh,
please?
100%. Let's go.
Um, yeah, I would say for me, I'm leaning more so on like how do I make sure I'm undeniable? It's a thing when your back is against the wall, right? Like when one of the things that I'm noticing about this transition from being a W-2 into a 1099, one is mindset. I want to say mainly mindset, right? Because I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, right? But now it's like there's nothing guaranteed. And that transition is something crazy. So one of the things that I'm leaning on is how do I become undeniable, right? My spirit, my faith might be undeniable, but in the present tense, how do I become undeniable? And one of the things that I'm really kind of leaning on and brainstorming is today I'm kind of trying to figure out ways that I can create flyers, um, as well as like business cards. So that way I can next week I'm just traveling. Like I'm going around all over Dallas and I'm walking in and saying, hey, I'm just a community advocator. I just wanted to stop by and just drop off this resource. That way they have my information, they see me, they smell me, they see my charisma, my character. And the law of large numbers states that let's just say if you hit 100 different people, if you talk to 100 different people, you're bound to at least hit 30. So, that's kind of the level that I'm thinking on is like, if I go to 100 different schools in the next 2 weeks, I'm bound to at least get 30. And so, how do I become undeniable? And one of those ways is instead of going in and just saying, hey, I'm with so and so company, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, I'm actually a community advocate and I just want to see, so and so, blah, blah, blah. Here's my flyer and allow them to make the decision. So at least I'm exhausting every opportunity, every minute of the day, thinking about how can I sharpen my sword? How can I just be better? So that's one of the things that I woke up today thinking about. I wanted to just extend it to the team. Hopefully, if you guys implement that, maybe that'll help. But that's how I'm doing it for my business.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. I'm glad that you shared that with the team. Like it sounds like, we're all trying to move towards mastering our craft, right? Becoming the masters of what we do. So, like Nico said, like we are undeniable, right? When we bring our best self to the table, they know what we're here for, what we're here to do and how we can make an impact. And they know all that up front and they can make their decision. It should be fairly easy for them. That's great stuff. Nico, that's definitely something I'm going to be, applying to my business and my mindset as well, right? Moving towards being undeniable. So thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Anybody else before we hop into some talking points centered around our book of the month? Anybody else want to share really quick?
Jones, I'll add something to that. I think the easiest thing that I realized for me specifically when I got back was um, my number one focus right now is developing the team that existing around me. Mr. Samad said something that impacted me on the earlier call. We've had access to this 90-day BD information for 2 years. Specifically me, I can't speak for you guys. I just want to give you guys the fairest shot to win. That information is gold. And so I found myself coming back home and saying, well, hey, Hans, you haven't duplicated yourself yet. I've got some great members, but how do I turn somebody into a business director? So I've been very intentional. I just got off an intentional game plan interview, really acting faster, not really taking anything for granted. Don't let no time, unfortunately, get into the space of somebody else's mind and say, hey, new recruit, we got to talk today. And the other thing that I've done too is I think I changed my language. This is a mandatory thing. This is not a you hope for. I'm a business owner. This is what we're about to do for the next. We're doing a game plan. We're going to need to do a grand opening. I need you to prepare your 100-person list. I need you to finish this class in 30 days or less because we're not really doing them harm to get them to win quickly. And I made that mistake thinking like, oh yeah, like he said it, like we'll bring people on 125. And I realized that it's not that the person is not a bad person. They just don't really know what to do. So if you're really the leader, you really have to dig deep. I had an intentional conversation. I'm thinking about it now. I was kind of like saying I might go take a trip to Tennessee. There's a young lady by the name of Miss Felicia that's really moving the ball and says she needs some help. And I've done it before. So I'm being like more physically intentional, saying, hey, if this person's raised their hand, let's go run with them. Don't make it a big conversation as long as it makes financial sense or more intentional. Like even the conversation that I had with you, say, hey, that got to get done very quickly. Let's not let any gaps be unnecessary. Go call up, call down, call to the side, call to the right. As soon as I finish this call, I'm going to jump on with Mr. Ridley on another potential recruit conversation. So sometimes I felt I was casual personally, Mr. Jones, where I was like, oh, that can get done or they'll figure it out. But I think maybe somewhere along the line, I don't think I was being intentionally mean, but maybe there was a version of myself that thought that they could figure that out. And I realized that I shouldn't. And the other thing that I'll leave you guys with is that I really misunderstood initially the science of what already works here. We talked about it this morning. The gentleman, we were having a quick conversation. Mrs. Samai said, hey, really, this game is pass, dribble, shoot, pass, dribble, shoot. And if you really make it any more complicated than that, it'll just take a little bit unnecessary longer. So for me, I felt like, okay, well, equity partner took longer because you really decided to just pass and dribble. And you forgot the shoot part. And the shoot part, like just however I'm a big basketball guy mentally. So I'm just saying that sometimes we'll pick apart the system. Don't, it already works. It's functional. It's built a lot of organizations already. And so I came back home and say, no, how much more intentional can I be about the system? And even as a business director, that's great. But Hans, how intentional are you going to be about the system, making sure it works every place, even showing up on intentionally on the call with a potential appointment, whoever it is? Hey, let me be here. I show up. Let me fight to get on that appointment on time so that there's no gaps left in my business. So that's where I'm at mentally, Mr. Jones. So
That's awesome. That's great stuff. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Hans. What I'm taking from that is that, like, both of our, two of our leaders on the platform, they're saying that they're looking at for ways to reach down and help, you know, us get to our goals, right? Get to that business director, get to, that equity partner, whatever that goal may be, infinite circle. So, as Brother Hans and Mr. Sama was talking, what I'm thinking in my head is like, what do I need to do to make sure that they have all they need to help us get to that point, right? So while they're asking us what they need from us, we need to be asking them what do they need from us, so we can put our best foot forward and achieve our goals because they're ready to help us do that. But all right, so we're going to get right into it. I'm not sure if you guys have all been reading the book of the month, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I got my copy right here. I've read this book before in the past. It was the first book that I read on the way to like my financial, I guess my personal finance journey. So I have, dove into this book a little bit. I didn't finish it, but I have somewhat of a foundation in reading it. So if you haven't read it before or if you haven't gotten started yet, I won't give away exactly, you know, the ending of the book or whatever the case may be. But what it reminds me of is when we do the wealth formula and we have the poverty language and the wealth language, right? So in this book, there's a rich dad and a poor dad, and the rich dad is living from the perspective of the wealthy language, like the different things, the different lessons that we'll go over here in a second are all coming from that perspective. And meanwhile, Mr. Kiyosaki, his real dad or his poor dad, is the one speaking more so from the poverty language. And, his father has a good job, things of that nature, but they're still moving in this realm where they aren't, you know, moving in abundance, right? So pretty much just being able to transition to that wealth language is something that not only we need to do, but we need to encourage our clients, the people that we help on a day-to-day basis to do as well. So I think, I'm thankful for the leadership for having us pull this book out because it's so fundamental and like what our leaders are talking about on the call, just a mindset shift to move into that wealth language. So I got a couple of talking points. I got 8 talking points for us, based around the intro of this book. And I felt as though they would be helpful for us, not only for us, but during our conversations with clients as well. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. So we got number 1, right? So the number 1 talking point I want to touch on is the difference between being broke and being poor, right? So the book emphasizes that being broke and being poor are not the same thing, right? So broke is temporary, poor is eternal. So a lot of the individuals or the people that we're talking to, or even us in certain, cases and scenarios where we're broke, but we feel as though we're poor, right? That's the mindset that we kind of have to get our clients and the people that we're trying to help change their lives out of that mindset, right? That mindset of, I can't afford it, right? The 125, that's a lot. That just in the moment, that seems like a lot. But we all know in the back of our minds that everybody that we've offered this opportunity to, they've paid 125 on something else that was not going to be as beneficial as this opportunity with our infinite company, right? So all of that is really just a mindset. If we could get people to understand that they're in a state of being broke, that it's something we can fix, right? Then I feel like that changes everything. So Good point. So yeah, being poor in this context is a mindset that keeps reproducing the same situation. So instead of having the individual we talk to operate from that mindset of feeling as though they're poor, let's make them understand that yeah, this state that we're in, we may be broke, but we can fix it. We can fix things that are broke. So that's number one for us right there. I hope that clicks for everybody there. Alrighty. And I just mentioned this. Number two, stop saying I can't afford it and start asking, how can I afford it? Right. So one statement shuts your brain down, the other forces your brain to reach for certain solutions. So as we read throughout the book, the rich dad really operates from that standpoint of how can I afford it? He operates from a standpoint of, you know, just because I can't afford it in the moment, how can I make myself valuable? How can I bring in more income to be able to afford the things that I want or I need? Now, if we go straight to I can't afford it, we're already limiting ourselves, right? We're not even giving our brain an opportunity to think of solutions if we approach it from I can't afford it, so that it is what it is. So just making sure our brain is always in that state of solving problems, right? Whether it's for us or for the individuals that we're working with. So when you think like this, it's to train yourself to think in possibilities, strategies, and solutions instead of limitations. So number two, stop saying I can't afford it and start asking how can I afford it? Number three, your financial brain has to be exercised just like a muscle, right? Two people can work equally hard but get completely different results. Why? One may continuously learn about money, taxes, investing, business, insurance, and the whole nine, while the other never develops financially. Hard work without financial education has limitations. So, our financial brain is like a muscle, right? We all come to these calls, right? We're on a winner circle on a Friday at 11 a.m. here on the East Coast because we're trying to work out these muscles, right? Right now it's more so of a mindset muscle, right? But we're still trying to equip ourselves and get the tools that we need to be successful, right? If we aren't what do our leaders always say? If our leader doesn't have a leader, I don't know if I want to follow that person, right? So as we come to these calls, we're training ourselves, building ourselves up, mastering our craft, so we can go out and equip each and everybody else with the tools to master their financial future, right? So as we're the professionals, we're the masters, we need to be prepared and training our financial brain so we can relay the information to our clients in a way that makes them understand it and be helpful for them and their family financially. So continuously exercising that financial brain um and training it so we can be successful. Any questions or concerns? I hope this is really clicking for everybody. Got some points that I just thought would be helpful from the book. If anybody wants to chime in, feel free.
Oh, you good. You good. We'll chime in after you finish. This is good stuff.
All right, cool, cool,
This is good
cool.
stuff,
So,
brother.
that's good to hear. That's good to hear. All right, I'm glad y'all liking it. All right, so we on number four right now. Number four, don't spend your entire life only working for money. So this one I feel as though it really hits home for a lot of us, right? I feel like a lot of us, if we're on this call, we're making that transition. We still have our jobs, right? We still work our 9 to 5s here and there, but we look at that more as a business partner that's financing our businesses here. Yeah, so don't spend your entire life only working for money. I think the key thing that needs to be mentioned here is not necessarily working for money, but trading your time for money, right? Or putting like a set dollar amount on every hour that we work or something like that. We need to be able to like take time into like own our time again, right? Like making this transition. I've been doing this like full time for the past couple months, after coming from like the corporate banking space. And what I'm realizing is I have so much more control of my time, right? And when you control your time, anything is possible. Like you can imagine being tied to the clock when you can't generate that much income, only let's say 8 hours a day. With that same 8 hours, you could have had 4 appointments closed two of those appointments and made way more than you would have made that day during, during working at 8 hours at the job. So, yeah, it's very powerful. I feel like this is something we should be educating not only ourselves on, but clients as well. Because some people they're looking to generate extra income, and what do we have? The best opportunity in the world. So yeah, don't spend your entire life working for money. The rich don't work for money. It doesn't mean that wealthy people don't work. It just means the ultimate goal is to build assets, businesses, investments, systems, and income streams that can eventually produce money without every dollar requiring another hour of your time. So yeah, that's definitely a transition mentally that I feel as though, maybe our parents and those individuals didn't have at the moment, but I feel like it's our job to make sure that us and the people around us have ownership, right? Their own businesses, their own investments, their own safe financial vehicles and things of that nature. All right, number five, there's a difference between earning income and building wealth. So this kind of touches on number four a little bit, but you can make a good salary and still never become wealthy. Income is what comes in. Wealth is what you own, keep, and grow, and eventually pass down. So, can we pass our W-2 jobs down to our children and our legacy? No, not really, right? So, what we're building here, whether we know it or not, this is something that we can pass down to our children. Like I hearing Mr. Brad Pham at convention talk about, how his son gets it after 8 years. Like that had me even emotional as well, because it's like I'm building something right now, and my boy is 4 and my daughter is 2. So they may not really get it right now, but hopefully one day they do and they see that, oh, this thing that daddy is building right now could actually benefit us in the long run, right? This is something that we could walk into and take up, you know, and maybe they grow up wanting to be life insurance agents. Who knows? I know none of us really went to college to graduate and do this, but this industry is kind of like the best thing since sliced bread, and we on the best company and the best team in the world. I feel as though, man, if we build something big here, it's no way that our bloodlines and the people that come after us won't feel it, right? They'll just be attached to our infinite company and supreme team, um, forever, whether they know it or not, right? So yeah. Building wealth is something that we can keep, grow, and eventually pass down. We can't pass down our W-2 jobs, our corporate jobs, whatever the case may be. That's why those are temporary, something that we should use and leverage so we can build our empire here. If you planted your flag here, we should be looking to build our empire here. So, all right, number six, we touched on this a little bit, but ownership changes the game, right? So the takeaway is there's power in ownership, owning a business, building a book of business, owning productive assets, and building something that can grow beyond your personal labor that changes your financial ceiling. I think that's why that transition between from agent to agency is so big, because now you're no longer using your personal time. It's kind of like going from being on the field, right? Being on the field, like let's just say you're a football player, right? Sports player, and you're actually on the field, you're, catching the football or you're scoring the touchdowns, you're making the tackles. You could be on that side making, millions of dollars, but let's think about the head of the football team, right? The ownership of the football team, individuals we barely even know their names, but they don't have to make any tackles. They don't have to go out there, break any bones, get any concussions, do anything like that. Meanwhile, they're reaping the benefits of all the people that they've put in position to give their gifts to the world, right? So that's really the position that we're in here at our infinite company. And here with the system we have, we can build an agency, right? So being able to build that agency and, reap the benefits of that. Not only are we changing people's lives by giving them an opportunity to build their business, but we're building something that we can own and pass down to our loved ones as well. So I feel like that's powerful. Ownership changes the game. All right. Number seven, saving money is necessary, but saving alone is not a wealthy strategy. So, in the introduction of this book, Robert Kiyosaki says savers are losers. And yeah, like that's a tough statement, but in all actuality, it's like really true. Like it's like literally true. Like the individuals who are saving their like just tucking it away, like, I remember like back then, people would have like the safes or like they'd put it under the bed in the shoebox, right? People who are still saving their money in that way are literally losing because of inflation, right? So inflation is literally decreasing the value of our dollar each and every day. So if we're just saving it and letting it just sit and stay put, yeah, we have it in cash, but in the long run, we're losing value in our money. So, the point is that money sitting still can lose purchasing power over time. We have to graduate from simply saving money to understanding how to position money to grow and work for us, right? And that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. Not only do we do that for ourselves, but the people that we interact with, that's what we're telling them we can do, right? We're telling them we can save their dollar from being beaten from what? Taxes and inflation. So, let's make sure not only we shift our own mindset to that, but the people we talk to as well, right? See, exactly. See what I'm saying? It's people still going through that. I'm just reading Miss Gabriella's comment right there. Like, look at that. Like, we just have fun sitting under the mattress. We could be putting that in an investment vehicle, and that could grow and compound interest 10 years from now. They'd have, a great lump sum of money. That just makes me think about yeah, I'll touch on this briefly. So my big brother, I call him my big brother. His daughter got bit by a dog like, a little while back, and they got a case settlement. They got some money for that. Meanwhile, they just put it in a CD, right? So it's in like I think like a 3%, 4% CD. And it's growing, it's doing this thing. But I'm just thinking, I told him, I was like, man, bro, you could have put that in a nice little IUL or at least something like that for your daughter. And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, bro, you could have. It's ways to get more return on your money, instead of having it sit, right? So that's the point I was trying to make. And thank you, Miss Gabriella, for that comment. But yeah, let's not let our money sit and lose purchasing power. All right, last but not least, it's the ultimate shift, going from consumer to worker, from worker to owner, and from owner into investor, right? So I think a lot of us, me included, we're in this phase of, I mean, all of us could be in, any four of these phases, but I think owner is pretty much where we're sitting at, and we're trying to transition into investor, right? And not only is investor with money, but it's investing our time, right? Investing our time into our people, like our leaders just said, pouring into the individuals that we want to see win, right? Investing into our team, investing into what we're trying to build here at OIC and on Supreme Team. So not only with just money, but investing in our businesses. So, you know, um, yeah, most people are taught, to work, get paid, spend, and then save what's left and repeat that cycle. But financial education teaches us to ask different questions. How do I acquire things that produce income, appreciate, protect my family, and strengthen my financial position? So the goal isn't just to make more money, it's to become better at managing and multiplying the money that we make. So, with that being said, I just really feel as though this book is about making a mental transition, with our finances and just moving from that poverty language to that abundant mindset. Because it's really a mindset. And a lot of us are the product of the mindset that the individuals who grew up around us kind of, you know, poured into us without even trying to do so purposefully. It's just some people don't know any better, but it's up to us to be the change. It's up to us to make something happen and bring that financial wealth and abundance aspect and mindset to our friends and family and everybody who's around us. It should be contagious, right? The people who join and sit, if they sit at our table, you know, that poverty language can't have a seat at the table. So Last I wanted to end with this I guess it's like a short story from Robert Frost. It's actually in this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, or in the version that I have. But it's called The Road Not Taken. All right, so two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood and looked down, one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So yeah, let's continue to stay down this road, the road less traveled, right? We're the trailblazers, for our friends and family. So let's continue to master our minds, master our craft so that we can provide as much value to whoever God, allows us to cross paths with. So that's just my mindset. That's just how I've been thinking. I hope this was valuable for everybody and would love for everybody to chime in and share
Absolutely.
share
Absolutely,
where y'all are
brother.
at in your businesses.
Absolutely, man. Let's show him some love. Let's show Mr. Kyrie Jones some love, you guys. Listen,
Let's
book of the
go,
month,
Mr. KJ.
right? Book
Let's
of the month
go.
Hmm.
is
Woo!
East,
amazing.
it's the
And
East
and
Coast thing. It's the East Coast thing. Don't get. I don't want to get
I'm
in
on
trouble, but
fire now. I'm on fire.
it's the
so
East Coast
so
thing.
So, so here's the thing, whatever kind of thing it is, it's a supreme thing and it's a mindset thing and it's a beautiful thing, right? And it's a God thing because the book of the month, you guys, I just kind of want to give you guys the whole chessboard. If you came here to build a really big business, right? All the ingredients already exist on the platform. Okay. All the ingredients already exist here on the platform. You could literally recruit people confidently into a community that's going to develop leaders. And that's what really makes us so different. Nobody's coming here and saying, hey, we're not patting anybody on the back saying, hey, get out there and sell some policies, right? We're not patting anybody on the back and saying, hey, get out there and, make some money. We understand wholeheartedly and believe in the mission, vision, and purpose of this team being one that's going to develop men and women out of all forms of poverty. Because if wealth, you guys, is bigger than money, as he just said in these first couple of notes, and we say it all the time. Wealth is about legacy. Wealth is about family. This right here is wealth, right? When you can be a part of a community that you add value to and that value reciprocates tenfold, 20-fold, 30-fold. That's wealth. That's a great investment of time. Yes. Right. I spend an hour on this winter circle in the morning. I get poured into every single day. This is a very unique space. And so, I just want to kind of go over some of the notes, kind of kick it off. He talked about stop saying I can't afford it and start saying how can I afford it. Absolutely powerful, right? Financial brain. Now, that was something that, I missed, which was a huge nugget because it's true. See, in a capitalist country, you guys, right, we can develop a lot of skills, but if we don't have any financial acumen, right, isn't that most of our clients, right? Most of our clients are people who they worked hard, right, Gabriella? Maybe they were good savers, they were good husbands, they were good wives, they were good everything. They did everything right, right, Kyrie? But they just didn't have the financial piece. And this is why I'm saying in our country, and Robert Kiyosaki is doing a good job at reiterating that here in the book, is that listen, without financial literacy in this country, right, we are missing a very important education, and you can't get around it. There's no way around it, right? We know people who did it all right, people who played ball, people who, were educators, even people were great people, human beings, but the one piece that they didn't get right is the financial literacy piece, right? And so I thought that that was super, super powerful for him to kind of reiterate who we already are, right? And the torch that we already carry into the community. Um, he said, they don't trade time for money. Difference between difference between getting rich and getting wealthy. I love that. I love that. One of the reasons that I joined our infinite company was because I learned fairly quickly that this was a company who, at the founder level, had already understood that. See, when I look at a Brad Pham, and those of you who saw him at convention now, if you didn't know before, was a gentleman who said, listen, I know how to get rich. I want to teach people how to get wealthy, right? I want people to develop a brand of success that embodies everything that matters, like our families, right? And this is where he broke down on Sunday and he cried about the idea that Chancellor was in the audience by himself clapping for us. And he says he gets it, meaning that, hey, I was doing well financially, but I started our infinite company, which is everybody's company, so that we could have an opportunity to walk the stage in front of our families. And like Kyrie said, being that champion of our families, being that gentleman or that young lady that is, above the mantle, above the fireplace, 2, 3 generations from now, saying, man, if it wasn't for my grandma, Gabriella, if it wasn't for my grandma Kim, if it wasn't for my grandfather Nico and Kyrie and Mr. Augustine, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in now. We're so blessed to be able to stand on their shoulders. Understanding that slight difference of the difference between being rich and being wealthy is a game changer. It's a game changer. So I just wanted to give my takeaways, right? And open up the call to anybody else. Thank you for sharing this morning, sir.
Yeah, 100%. Go right ahead, Nico.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, as soon as I see you speaking on the call today, I could not help to keep smiling. Just like, first and foremost, man, you are doing, bro. And I just love watching you grow every single day and check up on me, like even when you don't have to. And just know you're not doing it because you feel like you have to. You're doing it because it's who you are. So serving the platform the way that you are and showing up for for yourself, the people around you speaks very high, speaks a magnitude of who you are as an individual. Just know you're just a relentless giver at your heart. And one of the things that I want to just say is when you talked about agent versus agency, there's a whole bunch of alignment of what we've been discussing today since the 9 a.m. spark. But we've been hearing this concept of agent versus agency. But the moment you said, think about a football player who's playing, you might make millions of dollars, but think about the owner who doesn't have to play a single snap. That really resonated with me. And I just thought that was very powerful. I just want to say, like, your ability to communicate your knowledge and your understanding that resonates with audiences, that's going to take you very far, brother. So I appreciate your tenacity, your willingness to get better and sharpen your skills every single day. I just wanted to say, bro, in front of everyone. I know I would say that to you, but I just want to say, like, give you your flowers. Good job today.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. That means a lot by God's grace, brother. I'm really just trying to emulate y'all. If I'm being quite honest, like I'm really just trying to emulate y'all. So, thank y'all for being honorable leaders and role models. So because we all feed off each other, right? Like this is us, like this is what we bring to the table for our team. So it's not me, brother, right? It's all God, and I'm just glad to be with all of y'all. So um Anybody else wanna share anything? Right? I mean, it's the winner's circle. We could share some wins. We could
I
share some
go.
takeaways, whatever. Yeah, let's go, Miss Tammy. Let's get it.
My takeaway, you touched me when you said being broke is temporary and being poor is permanent. This is actually what I grew up off, and I was told that both is the same. So for you to definitely break that down just made me, so happy and so full with that piece because a lot of people don't know. You don't know because you don't know. So being able to, be in a sector and a platform that you're with like-minded people and sometimes you can't speak your words out but somebody else can say it for you and it just brings so much volume. So I thank you personally for just bringing so much volume to the team and to me and to enlighten me and to get me fired up over here. So I'm just ready to go for next week. I got some things planned. I do want to shout out to myself and Mr. Hans because being able to experience convention that definitely put me in a better mindset for me to definitely have more confidence in myself. And because everything starts with you, whether people may say that or not, or people may admit to it or not. But yes, everything starts with you. You got to want a better win or more win for yourself. So by me keeping that mindset, I'm standing up and saying that for now on, Mr. Hans, I'm going to do these discovery calls myself because I've completed two. So I'm slowly progressing. So what had happened was the lady that I met with on Tuesday, she had called me at 7:22 Monday morning. But I was still in Texas. I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't answer the phone because I was, packing, getting stuff ready. So she ended up leaving me a lengthy message and she ended up sending me an email, but I still couldn't get to her till Tuesday. It seemed like she was waiting for me to reply back. Soon I replied back. She said, I'm available today. And then I looked at Bishop's schedule. I said, oh my God, she's not available. So I went ahead and told her I'm available today at 3 and we just hit it off the park. She was complimenting me. We just had a beautiful conversation. She kept saying, "You look just like my best friend in Detroit." Oh my goodness. I gotta call her when we get off this call and then make it so bad. Of course, discovery call supposed to be for 30 minutes. We got off the phone in 45 minutes. So I just felt like that was, phenomenal. And that just let me know that I'm doing right. I'm doing right. I wanted to serve more. I want to help more people. I want to get this word out that OIC is on the map. We're here to stay. And I'm just ready to go. And I'm just so glad and humbled that I'm on this team. And I love you guys.
Let's go.
Love
Let's
you
clap it up
too,
for Miss
Tammy.
Tammy. Let's clap it
Let's
up.
go,
Let's
East
go.
Coast
Let's
Tammy.
go.
All right.
Let's go,
Tammy, I
East
hear you
Coast
this
Tammy.
morning.
No,
You know,
that's
While
awesome.
I'm unmuted, I'll take a quick stab at something.
Mhm.
Harry, I've read the book before and I actually had to read it twice because, sometimes you miss some things. And so you bringing back the saying, I can't versus how can I, that resonates a lot with me because I know words are powerful. So I am watching what I say a lot because I am, and Mr. Suni know I'm a little, I can be a little introverted. So when I do come out and speak, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I'm going to continue to, and hopefully stay that way. But with this team, I have no choice. So I appreciate everybody for supporting me. And that's all. But thank you so much, Kyrie. That was some good stuff. You're on
Yep.
fire. Appreciate you.
Yeah, we
Let's
we
go,
are on
man.
fire. Yeah, thank you, Miss Amanda.
I want to add one thing, Mr. Jones, that you said. And Miss Tammy, I'm more happy than you actually understand because the job is to develop people, not keep people under your wings. So for me, I'm excited that you already took that because I always tell people the reason why we're here is if it's just me doing something, then I'm gonna be doing it forever. And it drives to one point that Mr. Kyrie that I wrote down very specifically. It says don't spend your entire life working for money. And one of the reasons why I came here, let me give you guys my clear reason why I came is that although I had money, I kept on working for it. I worked the businesses, I managed the businesses, I was everything in the business. And if the business
if me and Lamika were not here, the business may not run as well or may not run at all. And when we got here, we was like, there has to be a different way to do this. So when you said that point, that touched me. And there is something beautiful about when somebody else's speak, like yourself, is you actually don't need to be us. You just need to be you. Because when you be you, all of us get touched. Now we examples to you, which is great. We honor that. But once you were you, we picked up golden nuggets and it touched me like a Hans. Keep the promise to yourself. You didn't come here to go work for this system. And then Miss Tammy confirms it because I now say, okay, great. If you can develop people and then when they're ready to take that wheel or you help them take the wheel and start practicing, then don't take that shine for them. Let them go practice. Because I never forget one day Mr. Simon said, "No, that's you, brother." And I was like, "Me?" And I was like, "Why?" And because I was getting comfortable letting him rock the mic, which was great for me because we were winning. But he says, "No, go rock the mic yourself too, man. How do you develop if you don't become developed?" So when you said that, Mr. Jones, don't spend your entire life working for money. I can understand because from 13 till even 50 years old, though, I've been working for it versus having it work for me. And I've had some other benefits of seeing that, but I want to see the highest version of it. So thank you for sharing that point, actually.
Hmm. Yep, 100%. Yeah, go ahead, Miss Gabrielle.
Yes, thank you. Yes, absolutely. I've read this just like Miss Amanda. I've read this book before, but listening to you recap, I actually shared this book with one of my sisters, so I didn't have the book, but I just ordered it again because when you reread it and you look at the information again, it just like everything you shared today just hit home again. So it's like I have to reread this. But one of the takeaways when I first originally read it was your point where, and just like Miss Amanda, you got to change that can't afford it versus how can I afford it? When I first left my career and I took that jump and I said, okay, I'm leaving so I could be a present parent. I started telling my kids, I can't. I can't afford it anymore because I went from a six-figure income to nothing, just living off of my savings, what I had built. Um, and when I first read this book, I said, no, I can afford it. I just don't want to at this moment. That's not where where I want to spend this money, the needs versus wants, but I can afford things. I can. So just that mind shift is I have the potential to pick up and build from whatever is given to me. Like I can. And that's something that we need to really I read something yesterday where God's gifts are irrevocable. He's already given us our gifts and our talents. They're irrevocable. They are ours. We just have to multiply. And being here at OIC, I'm learning how to multiply. I truly am learning how to multiply. And it's kind of like when I came back from convention, I was honestly very mentally exhausted. I took the day off on Monday. Then I had to jump in straight into planning for our confirmation program. So it's like, wait. Wait, I need to slow down. I need to slow down. So I started, coming back in on Wednesday and then a little bit on Thursday. And because I've been planting these seeds of multiplication, I'm starting to see the fruit of it. Just like back in February, Monica and I were hitting the schools hard, doing the ERG system. The system is there and it works. And here I did two visits. We did two visits to this one private school. And here I have the principal reaching out to me saying, hey, you left me this information. I'm ready to sit with you and speak with you. We can afford it. We can afford it. We just have to follow the system. We have to believe in ourselves. And it's like you said right now, you're emulating the leaders. I see the leaders. I see the leaders as well, and their story sharing from this past weekend. They started from a humble beginnings and they're building something that has been very fruitful for others. And, God will take care of us. But thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. I seriously just ordered on Amazon the book again. I'm like, I need it. I thought I knew it all.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
And can
Yep.
I
You know,
add
thank you.
something that to that real quick, Kyrie? Because
Yep.
Gabriella said something super important, you guys, that I think it's important to highlight. You know, even if we've read the book before, and when me and Marlena were kind of talking about because she brought the book up. Marlena's always a wealth of good ideas and timing and stuff like that. So I never really make these decisions by myself at all. And so, Marlena was like, let's do Rich Dad Poor Dad before we do cash flow quadrant, because we try to do mindset before we do financial, and we try to switch it off. But it was like clutch to be like, hey, let's stay in the Robert Kiyosaki wheelhouse, and then next month we'll transition. And I was like, yeah, I was like, plus I read that book, but I was like, I think it'll be a good book to read again, right? Because when we repurpose information, it's almost like it's new. I always say, do you say you already read the Bible? You never say that, right? Because you bring, right? That's perspective, though, right? Because it's like, hey, I would never say that about the Bible. So why do I say that about other good information? Right? Thank God my dad was a reader. So I come from a family of readers, and my dad is always rereading books. And I used to always say, like, man, you read that book like 20 times, but he's like in it again and in it again and in it again and highlighting and thumbnailing. You guys, we bring a new person to the same information every single day. The same sun shine on us every single day. The same wind blows on us every single day. There's nothing new but a renewed belief and a renewed perspective. That's it. And if we can remember that, we can stay fundamental and really win, right? Because sometimes we're looking for a new thing, but you are the new thing that God's trying to do. I don't want to start preaching. I'm going to leave that to Hans. But watch this. You are the new thing that God is trying to do. It's not outside of you, it is in you. So I just wanted to highlight that real quick, Kyrie and Gabriella. You kind of made me think of that. So thank you. Floor is open.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else want to go? My bad. I was over here taking notes. Y'all dropping
No,
some
you're good.
gems.
You're
So I'm
good.
over here trying to type as fast as I can. You know what I'm saying?
You're good.
Um, but
Anybody
no,
else want
yeah.
to share? Come on, Kim. EP. She hate when I do that to her. She'll love me for it later, guys. I've already made that contract with myself. She'll love me for it later.
Yes. I mean, this is a team definitely to get out of your comfort zone, you guys. So kudos to Kyrie for opening up. Kudos, like just for the team, like
Let's
Miss
go,
Tammy
Malachi.
speaking up. And this is what it's about. Like we hold each other accountable. We never let each other fail. But we just push a little bit. So if you're
Mhm.
on this team, you're definitely gonna get called to speak up. As you guys know, I don't like speaking up very much, but yes, I love this team. I don't know what to say. I'm just lost for words because I'm just soaking it all in. Just,
Yeah,
hearing Kyrie and Nick and the
yeah,
new people just speaking up, it just brings joy to my heart. It's like, man, these are the people we prayed for, right? We don't want to always be in the spotlight or always speak, right? So just hearing other people speak, I just taking it in.
yeah.
So
Love
I
that.
appreciate you guys like just being a servant leader, right? Just seeing too at the convention, just Nick, like, hey, picking up people from the airport, like this is what our team is about. It's just looking out after each other. It's more than a team, it's like a family, right? And we just got each other's backs. And, our goal for each and every one of you, obviously, is to get to that BDEP. I mean, because hey, this is the team to do it. And I was speaking with our team and we're like, hey, what do you guys need, right? How can we help each other, right? If you don't let us know. We don't know how to help you. So make sure you're always communicating with us, reaching out, because you might be right there. Like, do you know your numbers? Um,
Mhm.
because some people don't know how their numbers work, right? They don't know their next promotion. So I encourage you guys to always look in your back office and look at your reports, just for you so you know what to target, because you might be right there and you don't even know it, right? So I'm always here for you guys. My line is always open. I took off work today. So I'm just so exhausted. But
Mhm.
yes, that's it. Thank you
Awesome
guys.
stuff. Thank you sis, for sharing. Can I do a little ad lib on that real quick? Listen, Kim, I totally understand. Sometimes we speak to the context, and sometimes we speak to the content, or the content speaks to us, or the context speaks to us. And the context of this meeting today is very nostalgic for me too. Right, I totally feel you because I'm sitting here taking notes, but I'm also enamored by the idea that Kyrie's running a call. So while I'm taking notes, it's like my brain is going 100 miles an hour. Like my vision is taking off. Like, man, like who's next? It's about to be so many new leaders, like just popping up. And I'm hearing Tammy speak up after convention. Like Tammy's like this whole new person now. I'm like, oh my God, like everything that we've been praying for is starting to come into fruition. So I totally, totally feel you when it comes to that sentiment. You guys have no idea how excited we are, Kyrie, about, you guys coming in and stepping up. So I appreciate it too, as well. So I'll say this, we got 1 minute left. I'm gonna wrap it up real quick with the idea that so you guys know Tuesdays we have the Infinite community call now, right? Meaning that our Infinite company CEO Brad Pham has opened up what used to be a CEO call, and it's now open to everybody, and it's now called the Infinite Community. The mindset that I want you guys to take on for that call is I want you to make this a non-negotiable. I want you guys to make this call a non-negotiable. And the reason why is because if the CEO of your company is opening up the company to you to have a direct conversation with him on a regular basis and you don't take advantage of that, you might want to kind of readdress, why you're here and what's going on with that. Because this is so rare. I worked in medical for 20 years. I never had a conversation with the CEO. Like never, right? And if you want to have a bird's eye view of what's happening in a clear path of where the company is going, and you got a leader and a CEO that's that transparent, you want to take advantage of that. Number one. Number two, because of that, we're not going to be doing Winter Circle on Tuesdays anymore. Okay. Our winner circle will be replaced by that call. Okay. So we're going to be driving all this whole team, all this momentum here to that infinite community call on Tuesdays. All right, you guys. And so what that means is we connect now as a team on Monday breakout, Thursday, and Friday winner circle. So we're gonna miss each other a little bit every week, but I think it's good. Proximity is good. Okay. And so just wanted to put that out there. Kyrie, wrap us up, brother.
All right, yeah, that's some great information. Definitely gonna be a non-negotiable if we're in the same room as the CEO. So, um,
Yeah,
100%. But yep, I mean, so it's Friday. Let's all finish this strong and strong. Let's go out and win, share our wins with the group, and keep on doing what we doing, Supreme Team. I'll see you all later. Take care.
peace.
Bye, guys. Blessed weekend.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.